Good afternoon, sirs and ma'ams. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all having a splendid, splendid week. Now, you know who's not? The residents in New York City, the ones that can't flee, They are now the highest tax burden residents in our country, but it's fine. It's completely okay because Zohran Mamdani was caught riding a bicycle.
Mamdani on a bike. Hello. Oh my God.
Yes, everything is fine, hunky-dory, it's dandy. Everything that Zohran Mamdani told me was a lie, but it's fine because he's riding a bike through our streets as we are now the highest tax burden city in the United States.
Let's talk taxes right now. A new report ranking U.S. states with the top total tax burden, and New Yorkers buckle up.
It's never good news for New Yorkers when you're going to talk about taxes. And we all know that California, New Jersey, New York, they all have high income tax rates. But when it comes to all state taxes combined, New York ranks first in the nation. It's a new ranking from Wallet Hub. You add together the total tax burden for each state. So that's income tax, property tax, sales and excise tax as a share of total income. New York topped that list with a tax burden of 12.5%.
Yeah, you gotta love socialism. You give your money to the government and they give you nothing in return. As you have seen, Zohran Mamdani's promises, his campaign promises, are impossible. They won't work. They don't have the money and people are leaving. Max exoduses are leaving New York City. The people that can leave, the people that can afford to leave. But everything's hunky-dory over there because Zohran Mamdani is riding a bicycle.
Mamdani on a bike.
Yes, Mamdani on a bicycle. That's the cure-all for everything that's going on over there in New York City. Rise in crime, rise in taxes, rise in homelessness, rise in drug usage. It's that Mamdani on a bicycle. That's the cure-all. Now, what's hilarious to me is that when the right said, you know what, if you tax people, they're going to leave your area. Well, the left came back and said, well, you know what? That's just a right-wing conspiracy theory.
Tax the rich, but if you tax them, they'll leave, right? That's exactly what they want you to think. This is based on the mostly fake idea called the Laffer curve.
Mostly fake idea, right. Just like gravity is a mostly fake suggestion invented by the Apple industry. The Laffer curve isn't some right-wing myth. It's a foundational macroeconomic principle taught in literally every economics 101 class on planet Earth.
The Laffer curve, which says if you tax millionaires and billionaires, they will tax avoid in direct proportion to how much you raise the rates.
That's not how the Laffer curve works. The concept of the Laffer curve is basically just common sense. If you tax people at 0%, the government gets zero revenue. But if you tax them at 100%, you also get zero revenue. Why? Because nobody is going to work just to hand over their entire paycheck to the IRS. The Laffer curve simply says that there is a revenue peak. One can argue what that optimal peak should be, but if tax rates are below that peak, raising them brings in more money. But if you push rates past that peak, taxes become so punishing that people will stop working, stop investing, or just pack up and leave.
Yes, everything truthful is a right-wing nut job conspiracy theory. Think about that. This guy literally is telling his audience, which are all leftists, that, you know what, billionaires and millionaires would be more than happy to pay their fair share. And their fair share, according to poor people and socialists, is everything that they work for. In no place in history has somebody been charged an astronomical amount to live somewhere, seeing that you can live somewhere else for less, and be charged less, get the same value, if not better, and said, you know what, I'm staying here because this is wonderful. I love being charged out the ass to get nothing in return besides them trying to charge me more. I mean, the socialist mayor of Seattle is completely okay with this.
The claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are like super overblown. And if, the ones that leave, like, bye.
Yes, the socialist mayor of Seattle, she don't care because she'll just charge the next bracket down more to give them nothing in return, as socialism doesn't work. It never has, it never will. And I don't know what happened to these generations that think Well, you know what? This time it will. But mass exoduses are absolutely happening in New York City. The exodus from New York City is driven by a combination of economic pressures, political changes, and housing affordability issues, with many middle-class earners leading the migration. So not only are the millionaires and the billionaires leaving, but the middle class is starting to lead the migration as well. And they're going to places like Florida and Texas, right? Let's just hope they don't go there and poison the landscape by continuously voting blue, right? Now, economic factors, the high cost of living in New York City, particularly housing costs, has made it increasingly difficult for many residents to afford living in the city. Reports indicate that a significant portion of renters are rent burdened, spending more than 30% of their income on housing. Political climate, the recent political climate, particularly the rise in progressive candidates like Zohran Mamdani, has raised concerns among business leaders and landlords. Mamdani's proposals to freeze rents and increase taxes on corporations could potentially drive businesses out of the city, further exacerbating the exodus. It's absolutely going to make people leave. You charge them more. Meanwhile, they have another place to go that charges them less. That's where they're going. And places like California are thinking about charging people to leave. It's called a leaving tax, which is crazy. Yeah, they're just trying to stick people in their blue areas to make them pay just crazy amounts of taxes so that these cities can pay for illegal immigrants, for just ridiculous policies that don't make any sense. Destination choices. Florida has emerged as a primary destination for leaving New York City, attracting residents with its lack of state income tax, lower cost of living, and favorable climate. This trend is evident across various income brackets, indicating that the appeal of Florida extends beyond just tax advantages. Now, as we're seeing mass exodus, what does Mamdani do? Well, he does an old political move that every single politician has done, right? He blames previous administrations, but it's all their fault. And Republicans and Democrats are both guilty of doing this. The only difference is Democrats keep their terrible policies in place so that they have something to run on next time. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix that. Meanwhile, they keep it all the same. So they always have something to run on.
Inherited a deficit larger than any since the Great Recession. Years of mismanagement and chronic under-budgeting, alongside a structural imbalance between what New York City sends to the state and what we receive in return, have taken a toll. We cannot close this deficit with savings alone. We need new revenue, and we need a structural reset in our relationship with the state. That is the only way to meet our legal obligation to pass a balanced budget.
Now, people need to remember this. In upcoming elections, broken promises, socialism, taxes, mass exodus. Unfortunately, in a lot of blue areas, they won't. Because as long as that person has a D in front of their name, it doesn't matter what they stand for. Socialism, democracy, constitutional republic, fascism, it doesn't matter. As long as they have a D in front of their name, the lifelong Democrats, the vote blue, no matter who people, they will vote for them. This person can sell them anything they want. You know, I'll give everybody a house. I'll give everybody free college. I'll give everyone a vehicle, an electric vehicle. As long as they have a D in front of their name, all those broken promises are completely acceptable because we have a Democrat in power. Now, people in California have an upcoming election, and man, I think the one for mayor, Spencer Pratt, I think he has one of the best ads I've ever seen. This is hilarious. You're going to love this.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free...
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
Mom, look.
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground,
AI is getting nuts. AI is crazy. Now, Los Angeles might be saved. We don't know. The elections are coming up, so we'll see what happens. New York is screwed. It's screwed for the foreseeable future, but it's okay because Mamdani on a bicycle.
Mamdani on a bike. Hello. Oh my God.
Now, if you got any entertainment out of this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to The Right View. I wouldn't mind the extra support. We're almost up to 1,000 subscribers. So who wants to be that person who is the 1,000, the number, who's going to be subscriber number 1,000? Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. And as always, for the rest of the day, please get outside, do some PT, hydrate, and change your socks. I will talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.